Good morning to students. I hope you all are very fine today. So let us start with our next lesson, that is water. So can you imagine a day without water? No. We are so dependent on water and about so many things. बहुत सारी चीज़ों के लिए we depend on water, right? Without water we cannot live even a single day. If we do not drink water, then we cannot. It will be we will feel so weak. Okay, so let us see or just try to think, if for a week if you are getting just one bucket of water every day, पूरी फैमिली को, like for your whole family there is just one bucket full of water available to you in a day. How will you do all the household works? How will you brush your teeth? How will you cook? How will you clean the utensils, the clothes? How will you bath? Yes? So you see, we are so dependent on water and we use the water a lot. Like for so many purposes we have to use the water. Now try to think that okay, the water which we use, just try to think कि हम किस किस चीज़ के लिए, like for doing which work, how much water do we use, the amount of water we use for various purposes. Like we use water for brushing the teeth, we use it for cooking, we use it for cooking, for washing the utensils, the clothes, we use it for bathing, okay, for cleaning the floors, for toilets and all. So we use the water for so many of the purposes. So just try to think and try to list out the amount of water we use for all these purposes, and you just see how much water you use in a day for doing all the work which you do. Okay, like to take the shower, for cleaning the toilet and all, even while brushing your teeth, tap खुला छोड़ के brush कर रहे हो, no, that is not the way. Okay, so you can just see how much water we use, or rather we waste much amount of water in a day. So you can calculate the amount and you will understand how much water we need every day for all our work. So but okay, we use the water, but from where do we get this water from? Okay, so which are the sources of water? So you know very well, we get the water, of course we get the water through the tap, so don't say that. But to the tap, from where does the water comes? So the sources of water are like river, we get the water from river, we get it from spring, from the pond, we also get the underground water, right, from the hand pump. Yes, also we get the underground water from the well, right? So this all are the sources of the water, and also we get the water, of course we get all this water from the tap which we have in our houses. Okay, तो अब देखो, yes, and like other than all the sources, water is also available in the ocean, right, in the sea. You can see in the background picture there is a lot of water available in the sea. तो क्यों बोलते हैं कि water, use the water wisely, इतना पानी है तो tell me, can we drink the sea water? No, we cannot drink the sea water. Why? Because it contains a lot of amount of salt, right? We get the salt from the ocean only, okay, from the sea water. So it contains a lot of amount of salt in it. So that is not the, or we will call it as saline water, which contains salt. So that we cannot use it for drinking or for other domestic purposes or for agriculture or for industrial purposes and all. We cannot use that salty water. So although we have like the country is surrounded by sea, like right, by the three directions, but still although we have a plenty of water, but then we cannot use that water. So we have a very limited sources of water. Okay, and also that depends on the rain. So now as I said, it all depends on the rain. So how does it rain? ओके, यू मस्ट हैव सीन लाइक द वाटर जो है रिवर में, तो वो water level in the river, it gets down, okay, and then again the river it will just flow with a lot of water. How does it happen? So that is the water cycle. What is water cycle? The water will be like, the water will be lost from the surface wherever it is, like in the river, ponds, and also from the sea. So the water from the surface, it gets or we can say that decreases, and again the rain will come. Now from where does this rain come? वहाँ पे कुछ है ऊपर? Is there something in the sky from where the water comes? No, it is the water from our surface only. तो ये कैसे होता है? What is this cycle about? So let us see about the water cycle. So let us start with it. See, very first what happens, आपने देखा होगा कि when you try to dry the clothes धोने के बाद when you try to dry it gets dry. कहाँ पे जाता है पानी? Where does it go? It goes in the atmosphere, that is evaporated, right? So you know the evaporation. So the water from that clothes it gets evaporated. Even if you पानी अगर कहीं पे पड़ा होगा on the road or somewhere, so that water it gets like you cannot see the water after some time. How? The water is evaporated, right? So the very first what we can say step in the water cycle, that is the evaporation. As you can see in the diagram, from where the evaporation is taking place, from the ground पे जो भी थोड़ा बहुत पानी होता है वहाँ से evaporation होता है, and also from the sea, of course sea में इतना सारा पानी है तो from where the water will get evaporated, or from the river and from the stream, whatever. So wherever water will be there it will be evaporated. Of course, how it will be evaporated? By the sun. By the heat of sun the water will get evaporated, right? And it will go up, the water which is evaporated. Okay, now what is evaporation? Basically is the when the conversion of water, the water gets converted into the vapor. Water changes into vapor by the heat of sun. This happens because of the heat of sun. So sun is responsible for that. Sun will heat up the liquid water, and that will changes into the gas. Okay, and this process is called as the evaporation. And then this evaporated water from the sea, from the river, or from wherever on the surface of the earth, तो वो कहाँ पे जाएगा? It will rise up. Okay, it will rise up and it will go into the atmosphere. So this is the evaporation, which is the first step of the water cycle. Then also you know कि plants do transpiration, right? Plants में क्या होता है? Transpiration होता है. What is that transpiration? It is the loss of water, right? Plants, they lose the water through the leaves, through the stomata of leaves. This is what is transpiration, you know it. So ये पानी जो जाता है, the water which is lost into the atmosphere from the plants, which is called transpiration, where does this water go? So this water also gets converted into the gas, as you can see in the figure over here. So what happens? That water it gets converted into the gas, and then it goes into the atmosphere. Okay, along with the other water which has been converted into the gas. So this is what like the evaporation of the water which is available on the surface of earth, and also the transpiration. So this is responsible for the water, okay, to go up in the atmosphere. तो क्या हो गया? हमारे surface पे जो water था that has gone into the atmosphere in the form of gas. That has gone into atmosphere in the form of a gas. Okay, so this is the first step, evaporation of water or transpiration. Okay, by which the water goes into the atmosphere in the form of a gas. Even we exhale, if you know, हम जब कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एक्सेल करते हैं, we also release some water vapor at that time. That water vapor also goes into the atmosphere. This was the first step. Now after the water that is converted into gas, right? Now after that gas, or we would say it as water vapor, gas, or that is also called as water vapor. तो ये जो water vapor गए हैं ऊपर atmosphere में, तो वो क्या होता है atmosphere में, as they go up, so you see at some height in the atmosphere the temperature is low. That means that is cool. The atmosphere over there is a bit cool. तो क्या होता है? You know, when you cool the water vapor, when you cool the gas, it again gets converted to water, right? So, and this process is called condensation. What is condensation? The process of conversion of gas into water is called condensation. Okay, keep in mind, water to gas, is evaporation, and the opposite, gas to water, that is condensation. The evaporate होके water ऊपर चला गया in the form of vapor, again that vapor will get converted into water ऊपर ही in the atmosphere only. So the condensation will take place. That means the water droplet will be formed, and when a large amount of water vapor it will condense, then that will form the cloud. Okay, so here सारे water vapors, when all the water vapors they get condensed, then they will form the cloud. Okay, and when will it happen? When they will get cool air. When the water vapors which are in the atmosphere, when they will get cool air, so of course when they will get cool, then only they will condense and they will form the cloud. So this is how the clouds are formed. ये कौन से clouds है जो rainy season में बनते हैं, थोड़े से grayish black colored, those clouds which contains the water vapors. Okay, क्योंकि तब क्या होता है, the atmosphere is cool. Okay, the cool air makes the water vapor to convert back into water, which is condensation, and that makes the cloud, that forms the cloud, so that leads to cloud formation, and this is our second step towards water cycle. Then okay, now the water has condensed, we have got the water droplets which have formed the clouds. Okay, now you see what happens. Then next what happens is the precipitation. That means what, the cloud which is already formed. Okay, तो वो जो cloud बनता है, then again if it gets cool air, देखो क्या हो रहा है, cloud has formed. Okay, then what happens, the cloud becomes heavy and heavy. जैसे ही water vapor the water is formed, then the clouds they become heavy and heavy. So what happens, after they get heavy, then the water tries to it starts to fall back on the ground. Water, if the water is falling on ground, then that is the rain which comes, right? And that is the last step of water cycle, and that is precipitation. Okay, actually that is not the last step, but that is the third step which is called, the cycle has not completed yet, right? तो इसीलिए बस वो ग्राउंड पे आया है. ओके, सो दिस इज द थर्ड स्टेप, दैट इज प्रेसिपिटेशन. व्हेन द प्रेसिपिटेशन occurs, when the water in the cloud it gets too heavy, बहुत सारे water droplets are just getting accumulated over there and the cloud is increasing. Okay, and now you see, because the water droplets are getting collected over there, so it is becoming heavy and heavy. Okay, so once it becomes heavy, then the water it falls back to the earth. जो earth से ही ऊपर गया था, that water again falls on the earth. That is, this process is called as the precipitation. Okay, and we say that it is raining. So this is these are just a few steps of the water cycle. It is the last step of water cycle is remaining, that we will continue in the next video. Till that time, you try to decrease or do not waste the water. Okay, try that you use how much amount water you need, that much use the water wisely and save the water and save the earth and save yourself, right? So be safe at home. Goodbye.